In this video, I'm going to model this object in Fusion 360. Now, this object has some curvature to it. It's got a little tricky part, which we'll talk about when we get to it. But the big thing that I'm noticing right now is that this object is symmetrical. That is to say, if I cut it in half along this dotted line, both sides would be the same. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm only going to model one half of this object, and then at the end of my process, I'm going to use the mirror tool to create the complete object. So I'm going to go over to Fusion, and I'm going to start by drawing a sketch of a top view of this object. In Fusion, I'm going to switch my document settings over to millimeters. Then I'm going to create a sketch on the XY plane. When I look at this object, I think that from the top view I'm going to see 3 concentric circles, and then I'm going to see a rectangle coming off the side of them. So I'm going to get the circle tool and draw 3 concentric circles of no particular size. I'm just drawing them in here. Then I'm going to take the line tool and draw 3 lines coming off the side. Now, this doesn't look like much of anything, so I'm going to start to use constraints to pull it into size. I'm going to use the tangent constraint to make these lines tangent to my circles, and then I'm going to add dimensions to the circles. So I can see that the innermost circle has a diameter of 30, the next circle has a diameter of 60, and the biggest one has a diameter of 80. So the smallest one should have a diameter of 30, then 60, and finally 80. Looks like I was actually kind of close when I was just guessing there. Now, this is a little tricky, but I can see that the full width of this object is 80 plus 20 plus 20. So I want the width of just one side of my object to be half of 80 plus 20. Now, you might be able to do that math in your head, but you don't have to, because remember, we can do calculations with the dimension tool. So I'm going to say that this is 80 divided by 2 plus 20. And then we've got that sized right in. I'm going to do one last thing here, which is I'm going to draw a vertical line all the way through my design. And then I am going to use the trim tool to cut off the outside edges of these circles. And I'm actually just going to snip out this middle line segment as well. The reason for that is, remember, we said we only want to model one side of this shape to start, and then we're going to use the mirror tool to complete it. So I didn't need those extra pieces of circle hanging out. Now that I've got this sketch done, it's time to start extruding. So I can see that my base here is going to be 15 millimeters tall. So I'll grab my extrude tool and extrude this up to 15 millimeters. My sketch went away, but I'll just find it in the sketches folder and unhide it. This next sort of ring of the circle is going to be at a height of 20 millimeters above the 15 millimeters. So I'll get the extrude tool and send this up to 20 plus 15. And now here's the tricky part. We can see that there is a drop of just 15 millimeters from the top of our highest circle point down to this sort of lower lip here. The trick is that this lower lip is actually a little bit higher than this surface here. So the way I'm going to get this is I'm just going to say that this should extrude up to a height of 15 plus 20, which is our top height here, and then I'll subtract 15 again. Again, this is some math you can probably do in your head, but we don't need to do any math in our heads because we can just have Fusion do the math for us. So I'll select this little shape, I'll say 15 plus 20, and then we want to go minus 15, hit enter. There we go. You can see that this surface inside here is a little bit higher than this other surface out here. I'm now done with my first sketch, so I'm just going to hide it. And now I need to draw in this sort of lobe shape on the side. So to do that, I'm going to draw a sketch on this side surface that I've modeled up here. So I'll create a new sketch, select this surface to draw on. Now I want to draw a couple of lines coming down. and then I'm going to draw a circle to get this curve at the bottom and a smaller circle that is concentric to that on the inside. And a trick here is you can see there's no edge shown on this drawing between this flat surface here and this curved surface down here. That means that the curved surface is tangent to the flat surface and they flow perfectly into one another. So I'm going to take my line tool and draw a line down. I'm going to draw another line down. Then I'm going to take my circle tool and draw a big circle, and I'll draw a smaller circle inside of it. Now this is certainly not the prettiest set of sketch lines. It doesn't quite look right, but that's okay because I am going to pull these all into the exact right shape and size using my constraints. So first I'll use the coincident constraint to stick the endpoints of my lines onto the outside of my large circle. Then I'm going to use the tangent constraint to make my lines flow perfectly into the circle. Already you can see this is looking a lot better. I've got a dimension here that shows from this top corner to the center point of both of my circles is 50 millimeters, and I can see that the diameter of this smaller circle is 32 millimeters. So I can take my dimension tool, set the diameter of this small circle at 32 millimeters, and then I can dimension from this center point up to this top corner, set that at 50 millimeters. Finally, I'll use the scissors tool to trim away these bits of the larger circle that I don't need. My second sketch is fully constrained, so I'll hit Finish Sketch, and I'm almost done with this design. The last thing I need to do is extrude this shape I just drew, and I can see from the drawing that I should extrude it to 20 millimeters. So I'll select my Extrude tool, and if I type in 20, we can see that's going the wrong way. So I'm just going to do -20 instead. That's looking a lot better. I hit OK, and I have now modeled up 1/2 of the design. So the last thing I need to do is under Create, I can select the Mirror tool. Now, you need to make sure that Mirror is set to bodies because we want to mirror this whole 3D object. For the object, I'm just going to select this thing I've modeled. And for the mirror plane, this is the flat surface which it's going to be reflected across. So if I select this flat surface, you can see that's not going to turn out the right way. I want to select this flat surface here, and join will have my new mirrored half be glued right onto the starting half, which is what I want. They'll be combined into a single part. So I'm going to hit OK, and just like that, I have fully modeled this part. It's identical to the drawing.